Hello, darlings. How are you doing? I hope everybody's okay and just staying cool. So it's funny, but we seem to have all found ourselves in places that maybe we hadn't planned to be. That's certainly what's happened to me. I took a last-minute decision on Saturday morning to pack up and to leave my home, where I had always wanted to be ready for this time. You know, all those of us who've known what was coming, we knew that this time would come. So on Saturday morning I packed up and I've come to a very safe place. France is in complete lockdown. I'm very grateful to be in the place that I am in. And I hope that you've all found yourselves in places where you feel safe. I really feel that wherever we are right now is very symbolic, and that, you know, it really is, wherever we are is the divine place that we're meant to be to get through this time. So today we're just going to focus on the next few days to a month and this passage that we're going to be living. And I'm going to finish with a little tarot reading, and we're going to see what the tarot cards tell us after we've looked at the planets. And then I will, I want to work. I'm locked up in the middle of nowhere, so I will put, as always, my site, but I'm going to, I haven't quite thought it through yet, but I'm going to create some kind of offer for people, some kind of guidance work that I can do at a certain price or donation price, or just whatever anybody has or doesn't have. I will work on that. You'll just have to go to my site to find out what I do in the next 24 hours. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on. So today we've got Mars and Jupiter already conjunct. I was always talking about 322, but it's already begun from today. So we're in fire. We've got the moon, we've got Saturn, we've got Pluto here too. Let's see Pluto. So Pluto, right, Pluto, right, conjunction with moon. So for those of you, I don't normally go really into the astrology because I'm always telling you what's going on, but today I'll just go a little bit deeper. Sagittarius is mutable fire. And as I say in my videos, the wheel began here. These are the sultans of swing. These are the philosophers. This is the highest expansion and fire of the mind. This is Jupiter's home. And Jupiter was the fire of the mind. He brought us culture, philosophy, expansion. He is the jolly Father Christmas character. He is considered benevolent. He's considered lucky. He's considered adventurous and risk-taking, especially in Sagittarius. So mutable fire is the energy of that. You know, all the mutable signs are the Michael Jackson MJ skull and bone cross. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Jupiter rules Pisces. And Pisces is water and Sagittarius is fire. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces, and Saturn rules the twin peaks where we're coming back to. So the skull and bone cross is that Pisces opposite Virgo. Here's Virgo, and Sagittarius opposite Gemini. Okay, here's Gemini here. So we've got Gemini opposite Sagittarius and Pisces opposite Virgo. That is the skull and bone pirate mutable cross. and Jupiter rules this water Pisces and fire Sagittarius, and Mercury rules Gemini, mutable air here, and Mercury rules mutable earth, Virgo. So that's why 1981 was very important, because all these planets were at that time in mutable earth, and they were getting ready. That was the skull and bone cross. So Jupiter and Mercury wanted to make as many brownie points as possible in 1981, the last time the head of the snake was on Sirius, as it is now. It's not completely conjunct Sirius, but it's been on this Sirius, on this unicorn. That's what the unicorn, and that's what we see on the royal emblem, always the unicorn and the dragon. Here's the dragon, the unicorn, and the dragon. And it's all been preparation for Mercury and Jupiter to take over Saturn's age, that all the planets are about to move into this high cardinal Earth. And that is Earth, light Virgo, and that's why 1981, when the head of the dragon was on Sirius. Then again, for 2001, 9/11, the head was on Sirius, takes 18 years. And now again, for Notre Dame and for everything that we're living now, that head of the snake is still on Sirius, which is all conjunct with Gemini above here. Here are the twins here. So it's all Mercury and Jupiter up to tricks, and Jupiter needs to score. They know that all this energy is about to come in now. They know that to have such important planets, outer planets, so Jupiter here, Saturn and Pluto. Pluto is somewhere right here. We've just seen him, but he's right conjunct there too. So Pluto, it's taken him 240 years to go around. Saturn, it's taken him 30 years. He's about to come home. That's his home. He rules this Earth, high cardinal Earth, and fixed Aquarius air. This is the famous Twin Peaks. And as I explained, coronavirus, the emblem of the biotech company, is the Maltese cross, which shows us just this pairing again of these signs all coming back together. Capricorn and Aquarius opposite Leo and Moon, and Scorpio and Libra coming back together again, and Taurus and Aries coming back together again. And the mutable cross will fade. We will have transmuted through this past 2,200 year passage, and we come back to the fixed and the cardinal energies of the Maltese Templar cross. So this is what all the fuss is about. So they are creating double trouble fuss to bring in, because they know that when Saturn comes home for the big conjunction on the 21st of the 12th, that Jupiter will have no more power. So they're absolutely using this energy of the fire mutation, transmutation, and Jupiter's strength and everything now. So Mars conjunct to Jupiter, Moon with Pluto. Pluto is our deep subconscious, and Jupiter is ruling where the Sun is now in Pisces. So this is all such big times. We've got Uranus in Aries, and this is the god that wants to carry on Ra from the age of Moses. So they're working with Mars now to keep, because they know that Scorpio will become the new solstice. They know that we are about to make this shift between Pisces onto Aquarius. So this will become the new equinox. Scorpio will come on top, and Mars rules Scorpio as it does Aries. But this guy, Scorpio, is not going to be the ruler. Saturn is going to be the ruler, because this will be the new equinox. This will be what we were shown with the Sphinx and Giza. This is Giza, the pyramids of Giza, opposite the Sphinx. So this is incredibly powerful to have Mars at the same time as Jupiter, the Moon, Pluto, and Saturn, all in Sagittarius. Saturn has been here for 3 years. Pluto has been here for 20 years. Jupiter has a 1-year period here. Mars has just been through, it's a 2.5 month period, and the Moon is just passing through. So this is why at the moment coronavirus is coming up to peak bedlam, because this is the bipolar energy. All the mutable signs are that bipolar energy. We're transmuting, we're trying to get ready for this energy when they all come into this clamped down high cardinal Earth, which is a completely different energy. This is Darth Vader, and we're coming out of Luke Skywalker here. And we've all been taught, you know, that Luke Skywalker is the goody, it's the light, it's the philosophy, it's our cultures. But, you know, this is the energy of settling down, coming back to her, or being under complete control of government, because they've sold us government when Capricorn is the, you know, is the true female energy. But because nobody really respects women, they've created fake feminism for this time. Nobody is respecting the wisdom of those connected to the true high cardinal energy of Capricorn. And those who haven't respected this, you know, I was writing about the film Dogville with Nicole Kidman. You should really go see that film, because it is talking about those who have a state of grace. Nicole Kidman is called Grace in the film. It's very much what's happening to all of us truthers on Earth today. We are abused, mocked, used, and this whole coronavirus is basically a way to trap all of us, as Grace was trapped in Dogville. They want to trap all those of us who are speaking up and who have come to play the role of this high cardinal Capricorn. At the end of the film, I won't tell you exactly what happens if you haven't seen it, because you must go and see it, but the father of Grace is basically playing the role of Saturn, and Saturn will come now and do what he has to do: earthquakes, polar shift, mass changes, so that all those who are not in grace will not have the mental and emotional courage to get through this, and to behave in ways that we're not reacting but acting. And you know, this has all been our mental preparation. That's why all those of us who've been awake for many years now, we've been preparing for this time. So Mars and Jupiter conjunct Pluto and the Moon. Jupiter, that energy of Mars next to Jupiter is very aggressive. Yes, this is big shot swagger energy. This is incredibly bold, arrogance, and if you put that onto the earth realm with people, that can be overconfidence, but it's lucky, it's boisterous. But for the earth, this is the rumbling of the earth, and you know, it's full expansion, and these guys are going to move into total contraction. So those of us, this is a time to gather strength, to get ready, to be spiritually ready. This is always very spiritual, Sagittarius and Pisces. You know, this is what's been, we've had all our time to go get our spiritual connection within, because this is clamped down when we come here. So let's watch how this is going to be happening. The sun is now in Pisces. So Pisces is the abyss. It is the invisible. It is the everything, the unknown. This is the Leviathan. This is the beast of the unconscious collective. This is the whale. This is Wales. This is the dragon of Wales. This is why they built that statue of the two dragons. We've got this dragon, and they're waiting for the beast of the unconscious collective. You see, coronavirus is to put the people against the people. I mean, it's just a complete ignorance, fear. It's completely created. What is dangerous is, you know, how people can not be able to breathe when in fear with 5G, Wi-Fi. You know, Wi-Fi is the number one thing to stop us breathing and to go into fear. You mix that with a cold and fear, and you know, you've got people can put themselves into a state of fear, and all you've got is doctors saying whether you have coronavirus or not. It's the best way to eliminate anybody that they want to eliminate, and for the elite to hide, because we're going to have earthquakes coming when everybody goes in here now. We're going to have lots of earthquakes, and this is a perfect way for the elite to shut us all up whilst they all go into hiding. Okay, we've got Mercury bang on Formerholt, this third eye, after his backward dance. So, you know, this is really an opportunity for people to come to this wisdom, to come out of the fear, to come into the finding that higher wisdom of Aquarius. So let's watch how these guys move on now. So tomorrow we're going to have the moon in Capricorn. The moon is in full in Capricorn. It rules Cancer opposite. So this is going to be a first kind of feeling of what's to come with Saturn coming up afterwards. There's going to be more and more shut down, more and more clamped down, and the moon is black because it's about to have a new moon. So yeah, and we've got that famous, waning Baphomet's, you know, that slither of a moon, which is what we see in the famous Baphomet. So it's getting more and more serious, more and more things are shutting down, but it should be people tapping into their high cardinal wisdom of the female, but on the bad side, it's government clamping down more. So we'll just get PlutO here again as well. My friend Lars told me how to do this without tapping it, but I need to practice. So yeah, PlutO's here. Okay, let's go slowly to see these passages. So the moon is here until the 21st, and this conjunction is going to remain throughout these 3 days. So we've got this boisterous energy going on whilst these guys are together, but lots of fire, lots of aggression can start going. This is especially with Uranus in Aries, fire sign like Sagittarius. So, it can be used always on the good side, spiritually becoming very strong, or more and more tensions building up, and then, people will get very, very angry. Moon in Capricorn is that ambitious anger energy. Okay, and then we're going to have Mars conjuncting PlutO. We've got the famous 322 skull and bones with Mars conjunct PlutO and Jupiter. I'm reading you a description of these energies together. Powerful surges of enthusiasm and effectiveness, gifts of synergy and resourcefulness on a vast scale, the achievement of beneficial plans, driving evolutionary forces On the negative side, an intense self-righteous anger, driving urges to conquer and dominate others, ruthless feelings that the ends justify the means, tendencies to push too hard and burn oneself out. So, yeah, that's, you know, this is the problem with all this clampdown is the power that the narcissists and the control freaks can start to have on the empaths and those of us who are trying to help and to explain to people. But those people stuck in flesh, Jupiter is all about flesh, it's all about desire, and you know, the Jupiterians, the people who are still in that desire and they want to, they don't realize that this is all just a dream, are in fear. And the people in fear, there is nothing more dangerous. You know, it's so we have the moon in conjunction with Mercury. This is bang above the third eye, Fomalhaut. This is the true equinox that we will be coming on to when we get through all this passage. So the energy of Mercury and the moon together is an interplay of feelings and intellect and sharing of personal thoughts and emotions, a capacity to listen and respond sympathetically, efforts to observe and understand one's emotional process. On the negative side, the reactive mind, subjective bias and prejudice, a tendency to live exclusively in the mind rather than the feelings or vice versa, a routine sharing of gossip and trivia. So again, those still in the lower belt, trivia will remain, and those ready to pop their third eye, this is all great timing for that now. So the sun, and let's move on, and we're going to have the new black moon. So the next month's energy is going to be of Mercury, of the moon and the sun. So the next month's energy is Pisces, and Pisces is, as I said, it's the invisible, it's the unconscious, it's this is when the fear can really hit almighty peaks, and this is when it's all illusion, it's all about illusion. Pisces is the illusionist. So those who are still falling for this coronavirus, it's going to get worse and worse. I mean, the whole planet has fallen for it, and this is what they want. They want to bring up the beast, and this is the beast that they want to bring up, Leviathan. So Hebrew Bible in the book of Job, the Leviathan of the book of Job is a reflection of the older Canaanite Lotan, a primeval monster defeated by the god Baal Hadad. This is the Loch Ness Monster. This is Moby Dick. This is everyone who hasn't. This is the crocodile Amit. This is the enormous crocodile of Roald Dahl. This is the serpent. These are the serpent people. This is everything I've been talking about in my last. This is Tiamat. This is Marduk. This is the beast. This is the great whale. This is Jonah. This is Wales. This is the Prince of Wales. This is Charles of Wales, or Charles de Gaulle. This is when the dragon comes up and creates their baby that they want to be Rosemary's baby, to take over, to keep us stuck on the Skull and Bones cross, when we should be pulling ourselves together, coming out of all this past 2,200 years of this Pisces energy of illusion, deception, lies, tricks, deceit. The whole financial markets were built on this energy. All the deceit of man was built. I mean, Pisces is also the most spiritual. It's where religion was born. It's where Buddha and New Age, but it's also the unconscious, and the unconscious is everything that we deny. And this is now going to explode because Jupiter rules all this, and Jupiter is currently with Pluto, Mars, and Saturn still in Sagittarius. Oh, this is the day that Saturn has moved into Capricorn. Look, he's moved in on the 23rd. Let's watch. Up. So on the 21st, in 3 days, Saturn is going to hit Capricorn. So that is going to, this is really when things are going to get really cruel, and this is going to start to be the roundup. So it's also, this is earthquakes, but in the picture of just us as the human beings on Earth, this is when the psychopaths and the narcissists and everyone stuck in fear, this denounces their neighbor, turns in their friends for a poor common cold. This is why I left my village, because I don't trust people still in below the belt desire and fear. And I can't be 100% sure that I'll be safe here too, but I just have to hope I will be. I'm in a very isolated area, so this is the best thing that it's the best thing that the best place I could be. But you just want to stay low profile. There's nothing we can do if we have enough people standing up and just seeing through the illusion. That would be fantastic. But I think that, as in Dogville, the father of Nicole Kidman, Grace, Saturn will have the earthquakes to throw us all out of this coronavirus, and we will be put in our places through High Cardinal Capricorn. The fun is about to begin. So we move on and we see this. So this full moon, so we have the conjunction on the 22nd. I've just read you that. And then we're going to have a whole month of this energy. Now, this is also tsunamis. So we've got Saturn that's just come in here. Earthquakes, this is water. Pisces, and it is a month of this black moon energy of all the negative sides of Pisces, which is illusion, deceit, fear. Pisces is fear. It's all about fear as well, and it's all about the invisible realm, and those people who haven't taken the time to walk in that dark black room and find the light switches. It's too late to find their light switches now. This is panic time, and this is all that mutable skull and bone energy. We've still got Mars and Jupiter here. And then we have Mars conjunct Saturn, both in Capricorn. Both in Capricorn, up. And that's when things get really serious. That's when we go into contraction. That's when shops shut. That's when there's no food left. This is when people who aren't alchemists yet, they cannot cope with this movement from Sagittarius to Capricorn. At this time, we're going to then have the moon right on. We'll have Venus at home. This is everything they want. They want Mars and Taurus, Aries and Taurus opposite Scorpio. And so they want these guys to be their top of the solstice with Mars ruling. They don't want the Scorpio female energy. They're going to be using the Mars with Aldebaran. She's feminine, and they've told us she's all a bull, but they're going to use the feminine energy of Aldebaran. This is the spin, and we've got these guys right under the spin of Altair. So this is Clockwork Orange. This is Clockwork Orange, and I'm telling you all this so hopefully you can find the spiritual calm within you to not let the spin, you know, override your ego. People who are still in ego, they don't know how to use all this in its best possible energy. So let's do a tarot. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and I never do this on videos for the public. I do it in all my readings, but let's see what the cards tell us for this passage. Okay, darlings, very interesting 3 cards that I've pulled. So the first one, interestingly, has come up quite a few times in readings. The first card I pulled, which is of this energy right now, so 4 of Cups, so we're dealing with water energy, benevolence and pleasure. The experience here is one of comfort, of charity, of kindness, and of very good humour. Amusing companionship, fine food and drink abound. Parties, dinners, and entertainments may seem endless. Whatever one wishes seems to be provided. So I'm going to be explaining this, but this is very much, let's go back to now. This is still in this energy of Sagittarius. And we've got the sun, which has just hit Pisces. So this is the best part of the energy that we're still living now. This is the expansion. This is what Sagittarius is all about. It's the bigger-than-life party man. It's the jovial, jolly giant. And so this, I'll explain it. I'll just read it through to you, and then I'll explain. Whatever one wishes seems to be provided. Sensitivity is expanded. The imagination is filled with new ideas which are easily expressed through painting, through music, and through poetry. Some excellent work may result, but what goes on is not so much creative inspiration as it is a deluge of stimuli. So, you know, many people may be tapping into their creative powers, but also the stimuli will be going crazy. I mean, this is the fire of the mind with all these planets here. So people who are tapping into fear will be tapping into that fear. People who are relaxing and having fun with friends and families will be, you know, it's all or nothing with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is nothing in moderation motto. As with the 3, there is a protective home linked, especially to the mother, who makes every effort to maintain and to improve its security. There may also be considerable financial ease. Well, you know, so many of us are in situations where there are many people who have found themselves trapped. At the moment, they're stuck, they've got no money. This is a time to reach out and to help those people who don't have money. Take somebody in with you, look after somebody. But as I said before, it's a very symbolic time. However, we find ourselves right now, this shows very much, you know, I would have liked to have been better prepared, but we find ourselves really where we were meant to be right now. There may also be considerable financial ease. The mother or her family may, in fact, provide a great deal of money, either through gift or through inheritance. So this is a time for that maternal, motherly energy to be helping others in this, to get through these months, to get through these times, you know, whatever this is going to be. The card may also refer to pleasurable travel by water, the element symbolically associated with mother. The negative possibilities of this card relate to the potential extremes of pleasure. This may mean overindulgence leading to hangovers, obesity, and perhaps becoming jaded and bored by constant stimulation. So yeah, this can mean, you know, people who are just unable to cope, who are completely washed away at sea. They're unable to cope with these energies. They just drown themselves. So this is all that energy of what we're still in Sagittarius. And the next card that I pulled is the Ten of Pentacles, and this talks very much exactly of what's about to happen. Pentacles is Earth. This is the Capricorn. This is the movement we're about to have of Saturn moving. Now, why is he doing that, naughty blue man? Let me just, we need him, get rid of him. He doesn't want to show me Saturn. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Well, we know that Saturn is going in on the 21st. So this is what it's talking about. And we're going to have the moon. So this is that mother. The moon is in detriment. It's in fall. It's in its opposite place. So with Saturn about to go home and moon in, this is massive clampdown. You either rise to your high cardinal, or, you know, the psychopaths are going to get cruel. So the Ten of Pentacles, isolated power, shows a strong individual who is uniquely alone in the exercise of tremendous power and control in social, in business, in political, or in other situations. Ambitions and desires are very structured. Nothing is more important than gaining money and position. Well, that is what happens with people who have moon in Capricorn. This is, you know, this in its best example. This is the one who's rising to take position, to protect their family, ambitious to do the right thing, to rise against this clampdown, or this is the psychopaths that take over. Nothing is more important than gaining money and position, and there is a studied directness, a certain roughness and arrogance which others may find disarming. Although this person may be envied, so this is, you know, this is, this is the government standing up and controlling us completely. The position is a very isolated one, so this is our policemen, these are all the people working for the system, where ideas, feelings, and most of all personal problems cannot be shared. In fact, apparent strength may hide personal insecurities, and not infrequently a sense of loneliness and of unfulfilled desire for personal interaction. So yes, a lot of people will be feeling lonely. All we want is a hug. All we want is to come together and love each other. And we have been completely separated, isolated, and put into a state of fear. Life at a pinnacle may be exciting, or it may be sad. Under the most adverse conditions, this card can refer to personal downfall, a devastating loss of money and a profession. Usually, however, the card represents a person isolated by success. So those of them profiting of people in a weak position, they are only isolating themselves more from finding the true energy of this high matriarchal mother, of this true Saturn twin peaks. Usually, however, the card represents a person isolated by success, by the very fact of winning and maintaining the power and wealth which has been aggressively sought. Well, that's bang on, isn't it? So, you know, even those elites, whatever's going to be happening, if, you know, we've got the earthquakes coming, whatever, the elite will be feeling very lonely. They have separated themselves from true spiritual coming together. And yes, all those who have taken the role of being the perpetrators will be feeling very lonely at this time, and all those of us isolated by those in fear, yes, we feel lonely. Thank goodness I've got a whole load of, you know, inner strength and my dogs, and I prepared myself for this time. But it wouldn't have been nice for me to be isolated in my village with people full of fear and those ready you know, go watch the film Dogville. It explains what we're going to be living now, and that card. Okay, the last card is very interesting. The last card is the Lover, and I have turned this card upside down. This is not as good as the one I'm using, Jungian tarot, psychology. I don't really like this, but I'm going to read you my version and show you this version as well. So my version is Raphael with the sun and the moon on either side. So this Raphael with the sun and the moon on either side, and I have the man and the woman with their arms crossed over their hearts, and I've got the cross here with the fish. I wonder if I can find you a better picture. Okay, perfect. I've got the very picture, the very card that I've pulled right here. Super. So you can see. Okay, so this is the image. This is the card that I pulled. And you see, we are at that time where the solar plexus, the sun and the moon must merge. In the Bible, it says there will be no need for the sun and the moon, because the sun and the moon represent the joining of our male and female sides, becoming equal. It also represents the north-south node, the head and the tail of the dragon, and this is exactly what is going to be happening now. Instead of letting us join in the true androgynous energy of Saturn here in Aquarius, Capricorn, female Earth, and air, masculine air, the skull and bone cross, the Michael Jackson, Jupiter, Mercury gang want to create the beast, the dragon, to keep us separated and to keep us stuck in this never-raging war here with Mars. You know, thou shalt not have any other gods but me, Ra, playing the role, instead of us coming back to Saturn, to spirit, to contracting out of the fear, because this is big fear. This is, if we haven't prepared for this Twin Peaks, this is big fear. So I read to you what I've got for this card. The Lover stands with arms outstretched above a male and female figure. The sun and the moon behind him represent the two sexes as symbolic of dualities in manifestation. This is the magician at a lower level. The Lover is original man. He is, as was described for the earlier card, author of sun and moon, the source of all dualities and the means for their reconciliation. So exactly, you know, we're meant to be coming out of the skull and bone cross, and we're meant to be coming back to this fixed cross, but not in the perverted way that they want, of keeping us stuck just on their, you know, it's a twin peak joining, it's a coming back. And look, you see, we've even got the little fish there. It's really incredible. The source of all dualities and the means for their reconciliation. As the sun is manifestation, he is by definition bisexual, embodying both male and female principles. Jung points out that Christ, the sun as perfected self, is androgynous, having reconciled the tensions of sexual opposites. The same must be said of Buddha, Osiris, and all other sacrificed gods. Meditations with the Lover can be especially difficult because they may involve the direction of the waking consciousness toward the possibility of resolution with the unconscious, a condition of perception that has variously been described as the Atman, the higher self, the Christ or Buddha within. Yet regardless of the way in which one may address this figure, it is important to look beyond the assignment of sexuality as male. Perfected self as male must not be taken as a social statement, suggesting the superiority of one sex or another. This is all symbolic. Male is the active, outgoing, creative principle, and female is enclosing and acting upon that principle to produce a third. This may sound cold and distant, but meditation with the Jungian tarot cards is unlikely to ever be an abstract, mathematical experience. Sparks fly quickly with each and every card that is touched upon. Of course, there are many legitimate means of approach to inner reality, emotional, intellectual, and devotional. One has the option of interaction with the lover as an abstract principle or as an earthier animus. But in any event, self must be addressed at the individual level before it is possible to approach the more universal qualities of the sun as magician. Those who enjoy symbol games might make a technical distinction by referring the magician as animus, anima, to the macrocosm, and the lover, the animus, anima, personal to each individual, to the microcosm. In this regard, the female figure in strength is to the lover as high priestess is to the magician. She is anima, and again, ultimately, anima equals animus. So this is incredible. Now, this card came out upside down. So this means that, unfortunately, as we know, humanity, the vast majority, are not ready for this merging. They've given us that's why we've been openly encouraged to become transgender, as the elite all are, because that way we're still stuck in flesh and we do not do the proper merging as in the Bible. There will be no need for the sun and the moon because we will have merged our solar plexus. We will have created this third man, this third baby. They want us to create Rosemary's baby, the beast of the underworld. This is the beast they want us to bring up for this full new moon, black moon. That is going to be absolute chaos. And they want that will be the energy for the whole next month, or you know, those of us who've done the alchemical process, we are ready to come and to become this androgynous within. It's within. We hold ourselves as the male and the female. We hold ourselves as equal, or the government comes in and takes over completely, which is what is happening. And we're going to have mass earthquakes. It could also be tsunamis with all this water energy here. But whatever, Saturn, go watch Dogville, will step in and do what has to be done. And this is a process that we're going through now. This card has come up upside down. And if we go back to the to what they say, so upright love, harmony, relationships, values, alignment, choices, reversed, self-love, disharmony, imbalance, misalignment of values. So this is what my cards have said we're coming into. The Lover's card shows a naked man and woman standing beneath the angel Raphael, whose name means God heals and represents both physical and emotional healing. The angel blesses the man and woman and reminds them of their union within the divine. The couple stands in a beautiful, fertile landscape reminiscent of the Garden of Eden. Behind the woman stands a tall apple tree with a snake winding its way up the trunk. The serpent and apple tree represent the temptation of sensual pleasures that may take one's focus away from the divine. Behind the man is a tree of flames which represents passion, the primary concern of the man. The 12 flames suggest the 12 zodiac signs, the symbol of time and eternity. The man looks to the woman who watches the angel, showing the path of the conscious to the subconscious to the superconscious, or from physical desire to emotional needs to spiritual concerns. The volcanic mountain in the background is rather phallic and represents the eruption of passion that happens when man and woman meet in full frontal nudity. So this is what is happening now. We're going through this last V, we're going through the 66, we're going Corona. Corona stands for 66. Okay, so C equals 3, O equals 15, R equals 18, O is 15, N is 14, A is 1, total 66. M, W is 3 V's, which I've shown you in all my videos, and V is Aleph, Tav, Alpha, Omega, equals 22. 22 3 times, so we've had 3 passages, as I've showed you on all my videos. We've gone past the 1 equinox falling, we've gone past the solstice, we're going past the next equinox. That makes 66. And 66 is also 99, and 99 is 18, and 18 represents 180, which is half of the wheel, 360, which is division. It is what the division that they want. The division bell is being rung. They want to divide us so that we create Rosemary's Baby, Leviathan, the unconscious collective beasts, when we should be merging as the lovers, as one, not being afraid of this coronavirus because it's all bullshit. What is not bullshit is that people are being killed, people with grace are being caught and trapped, and the vaccine that will come and the control is all very real. And, this is really a great window, a great opportunity for us to stand up now and to stay calm and to completely ignore all this and to, become one with each other. Okay, darlings, I will put my site, as always, and I will put something up in my site in the next 24 hours of what I want to offer people of this time of isolation, and so you will find all that on my site. Okay, I love you very much. Stay safe. Bye.